basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they got the load of off like I've never seen before. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when they say, okay, now you have 12 hours. You don't
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning market report. I found a remix, and I love this remix. Love this remix. It's Monday. It's OG Monday. We got the OG shirt on. We got the OG coffee mug. It's coming. The wife's getting the coffee. But hey, what are you guys here for? What are you guys here for? You guys are here for the charts. Let's check out the news. Let's check out the headlines. Right now, guys, we're sitting here with a lot of mixed market today on the daily, red and green across the board. Looking at the hourly, a lot more red coming in. Bitcoin currently sitting at about $107,000. I feel like we've been here before. Like, I don't know, all last week. Also looking at the market opening this morning, guys. Green across the board right there above my head. Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, all sitting in the green. However, pause for effect. Bitcoin struggling with that value area high. Appreciate everyone joining us in here this morning. We got a lot to break down for you guys. Talks about first rate cut being in October. Maybe, I don't know, but they're talking 4 rate cuts between October and March in that same setup. So we're going to break all that down. We're going to look at see what happened with Circle. We talked about a level on Friday, Platinum Pocket. Guess where we went? Platinum Pocket, guys. It's amazing how that thing works, right? We're going to break all this down and a whole lot more today on the Morning Market Report. You guys strap in, get your notebooks out, get your pencils, take a seat. You guys know what time it is. Class is in session. Let's get it. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. Trade Intuition in the house with us. Who else we got here? TBD Woods, Heart 7627, Lighty is in here. We got this weird thing going on with the names again. I see Brumblebee in the house with us. We got Kelly Elephant. Well, appreciate you being here. Appreciate it. Jedi Gaze. I think Jedi Gaze might be JR. I don't know. It's been doing this weird thing on YouTube where it's not giving us the real names. I see Wixwife Fine 89, but she just showed up as at Wixwife. And that's just not as fun as at Wixwife Fine 89. So I see Eric Ball and Wallen in here. Alexandra G in the house with us right there. I see you. I see you. Best mod in the business. I'm here for the bald head and the Mexican Superman. Well, we're here for you, username. I appreciate you. Alex O Crypto in the house. The gang. Appreciate it. You guys are all here, just rolling on in. Appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and bring up my co-host. I'll get back to some more shout-outs. I see Dylan VA jumping in. Daniel Barnes, good morning there, Battle. OC, what's up, man? Do you like to do jam? You don't know what the F they're doing.
That's amazing.
Love it. That is going to provide me entertainment for a long time. I'm just saying. Real Wave Cypher, I see you too in here, bro. Appreciate you. OC, how was your weekend, man? What did you do? What did you do this weekend?
Oh, well, it was a little bit of a disaster. Not disaster. I had a little bit of migraine throughout Saturday and Sunday. It was pretty bad. I'm better right now, but I had to take my migraine medicines. But other than that, was not. I was around for just home improvement stuff. Maybe just the too much dust and hot climate and stuff like that might get to my brains. But other than that, right now I'm pretty fantastic. In fact, I don't know if you have feel that bad before. I guess you have, right? Where when you start feeling better, it's just like, oh my God, this is just so fantastic to feel good again. And I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty excited. Things are moving on the crypto markets. I woke up early today, went for a walk, took a look at the markets, and I'm ready for a great Monday.
Yeah, well, the VIX is down right now. Let me just do a refresh here on my iPad. Let me check this out. Yeah, the VIX it's up actually. It's 17, but it's still at that threshold of low volatility. So we are seeing an increase on that. Bitcoin pulling back a little bit, rejecting from its 786 and its 887, the platinum pocket. So we're going to pull that up and take a look at that in a moment. But OC, let's kick it over to you. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart, because we're in a pattern on the higher time frames right now that kind of says, hey, this might be a range for a pullback anyways. But I want to see what you're seeing on the charts. Let's talk about that. Then we'll jump into the news, break down the macro events for the week, and talk about some headlines, and then get into some altcoins, because alts are hurting, man. They're on the struggle bus. Or as OG Alex O Crypto says, Steve Ruggles is present in the house. So OC, let's kick it over to you. Let's take a look at that Bitcoin chart, man. What you got for us?
Absolutely. So let's take a look at here, and this is the setup for trading with OC. By the way, guys, if you're not following the late class on Trading with OC, today is going to be the last session, and tomorrow is going to be the goodbye party. Nonetheless, let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. We are basically trading on a massive bull flag. We've been tracking this for a long time, right? And comparing it with this previous bull flag that happened in here. The only difference is that we are expecting it from it to break to the upside. As you can see here, we had two bearish approaching here, which was coming back to the dynamic reactor, which we barely did, right? And then next thing was coming back to the median point in here, which we, of course, we did not did. And right now we're breaking out. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. The only thing that is actually worrying me is that, yeah, we have a double right here, a double mountain here. But our strength is pointing downwards, which means more ranging incoming. So despite we have moved up into the range levels, well, then we still can be expecting a little bit more of a ranging throughout maybe today and tomorrow. But I think we should be preparing for either a dump to the dynamic reactor, I would say. And hopefully that happens as the dynamic reactor is passing across or over this support or this resistance, so we can bounce from it and then move forward. Because if it caught us like right down here, if it does something like that and then we go below, we might be considering this as an anomaly or a fake out, which could be bringing us back to 102 or even somewhere around 97. Remember, 97 is not out of the scope so far, but that we're having a breakout, that is a fact. A breakout, a low volume breakout. We need to be very, very careful in that zone. But other than that, that's what we're tracking. And if we go to really quickly, let's just open anyway, to our sessions that we always tracking here. Let's go to Bitstamp and let's do this. Let's zoom out. And for some reason, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, yeah, 3 minutes, of course. Let's go to the 4 hours. There we go. We've been tracking this this movement for a long time. And remember, we've been not only comparing point to point, but also retracement to retracement. So what is it up next after this retracement? They push through the little range, right? They push through the little range, and then the off we go. So far, I will say it, nailed it, because it's been playing out almost exactly for our measure setup in here. So other than that, doing fantastic. Let me try it back to you, because you mentioned that you have some pretty interesting news that might be opposing to Bitcoin going up, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to point out one thing real fast on my chart that I'm watching here, guys. And this was on the thumbnail. So thumbnail trading on Mondays with Army Piper. We are getting this pullback, guys. We talked about this 786 retracement to the 887. This is the platinum pocket. It's very similar to our golden pocket, but it uses 786 fib and the 887 GAN level, pulled from the top here to the bottom. And if you look at what this retracement was, a lot of times if you break through a golden pocket, see, a lot of times it's resistance, right? A lot of times it is. But eventually you will get through a golden pocket if you don't get that retracement to play out. And when it does, what do you get? A platinum pocket rejection. Okay, so we did get that platinum pocket rejection. What I'm watching is the 66, which is again a GAN level, and the 618 for my golden pocket. If you take a look, we've got a quantum reactor coming in and a dynamic reactor squeezing in on that golden pocket. This is coming in between 106 to about 106 to 106.5. This is going to be my first key level of support that I'm watching. But I do want to remind you guys, if you're keeping score, folks, we do have on the daily here. We got to go to the daily. We do have a new CME gap that has been formed here, and I like to put these on the chart when they happen. Let's do this to there, and then let's stretch this bad boy out. We do have a CME gap here on the daily, and this is coming in from June 24th, okay? We also have one down here about 103. So this is that 105 range. There's a CME gap there. But if we go down here and look, we still have one from April 22nd all the way down at 92 to 93,000. So keep all of these in mind when you're talking about these levels. But the first line in the sand for me today is definitely going to be that level of the golden pocket there. That's again 106, 106.5 range right there. If we do end up losing that, guys, on the 4 hour, because we passed through all of this, you got to take a look at that daily and go, okay, well, down at 98,000, we do have another converging dynamic reactor and quantum reactor coming in the line there on that zero line. That would be a double bottom, giving us a nice setup for more upside movement. So I just wanted to talk about that. Let's go get over into the news, OC, and break that all down. Do you guys target CME gaps? Absolutely. Most CME gaps, not all, but most CME gaps do get filled, Kelly. And so you have to keep them in mind, and they're fantastic spots to set limit orders and just let it run. So that's how I like to use them. 78 amazing live viewers, 35 likes. You got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Shout out to Alex.
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Yep. You guys got to do it. You got to do it. All right. Let's go take a look at what we have on the news, OC, and we'll be right back with you, man. Jumping over to the news side of the game, and we'll jump up here, take a look at this beautiful news segment. If I can get the right screen here. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Keep it going. Perfect right there. All right, let's talk about the dashboard today, guys. Looking at the metrics from Into the Cryptoverse. Link down below. Looking at current crypto market cap right now, we're at $3.307 trillion. Our trend median on this, the average median on this, the mean average is 3.994 trillion. We're currently undervalued about 17.21%. On that, I'm looking at Bitcoin risk levels today. It's Bitcoin. It's DCA Monday, guys. We do this every single Monday in our Discord, and it's only $5. All you got to do is click join down below. You get the full breakdown every Monday of, hey, these are your DCA levels for Bitcoin, DCA levels for altcoins, multipliers, when to take profit, all that good stuff, plus all of our traders, LBC, JR, Buck over there, and some stock stuff too. We got stock stuff with BC Port Corp and Crypto Trade. So if you guys are not over there, you're missing out. $5. I don't know of any cheaper Discord with this much bang for the buck. But looking at the DCA level today, wristband, we're at 54.5% on Bitcoin right now. So that is a 2x DCA still. Looking at the Bitcoin dominance on slowing down a little bit. We were all the way up near 71% without stable coins in there. It's important to know about stable coins, because with stable coins, without stable coins, plays a big difference in the actual dominance levels of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is selling off and people are buying alts, then the without stable coin will come up, right? But if they're buying altcoins, if they're not buying altcoins, they're selling Bitcoin and they're going into safety and stable coins, then you'll see this number come up. And so right now we are seeing that it's a lot of the money that's coming out of Bitcoin, that's going into Bitcoin right now. A lot of the money is going into Bitcoin, because when you take away the stables, we're at 70%. So a lot of it's going into stable coins. That's what we're seeing. That is where we are right now, 69.58% without stable, 64.5% with stable coins. Looking at the liquidations in the past 24 hours, guys, 88,251 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at only about $210 million. What's a few million? But evidently, somebody was very bullish on Bitcoin and did the wrong move, got wrecked for $12.2 million on a single trade. Crazy. I see these numbers and I'm just like, who are you people? Who are you people? When he saw that $12 million liquidation, he knew he messed up.
It was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
That's right. Looking at the crypto bubbles here, guys, on the hourly, pull it in here, see where Bitcoin's at currently. Let's give this a refresh. I want to make sure that I got the most recent data. Yeah, 107,525 there on Bitcoin right now, down about 0.6%. Ethereum, believe it or not, is green on the daily right now. It's up 0.5%, sitting just under 2,500 at 2,466. So XRP is up, is down right now 0.4%, up on the hourly, $2.18. Solana down about 1% at 150. What else we got in here? USDC staying stable. That's a good thing, right? Cardano and Dogecoin both down 0.4%. Cardano struggling in that low 50s range. It's pretty rough for it right now. Let's see what else is up here. Hyperliquid's up 1.4. Bitcoin Cash is up 2.3. SWI is down 1.7, sitting at $2.76. Cannot seem to get back to that $3 level. And Chainlink, far away from an $800 Chainlink buck. I know that hurts your soul.
Emotional damage.
Looking at a down 0.4% there, up on the hourly though, making a little reversal for 0.8%. Maybe it might get up there and hit 14. I don't know. We'll see. Avalanche is down 1% today. Stellar Lumens coming in at number 17 is down 1.5%. Tonguecoin's looking green today. It's at $2.91, green on the daily, green on the hourly, green on the weekly. But when you look over here and see this nice, that's a yearly one there. Yeah, it's only down. What is it? Let me see. Where we go? Down 61.5% on the year. So still having struggles going on in the altcoin realm. So, yeah, as everyone gets comfortable with stablecoin yields, hunters will get aboard. I agree. Buck Buchanan there, totally giving away his full name instead of just Buck there. Thank you, Google, for giving all of his info out. And Litecoin, guys, rounding out the top 20 at $85.44. Let's go over, jump in to X marks the spot, see what they're telling us about the fear and greed index today. We're at 66, sitting in greed. That is a time to have a little pullback, usually. Especially if we get up there higher and hit extreme greed, which we came very close to that. Strategy has acquired, by the way, 4,980 Bitcoin today. Again, doing this again for approximately $531.9 million. At 106,801 per Bitcoin. So they must be following the Piper plan. I don't know what's going on. They just keep buying. But yeah, that is bringing their average. Notice their average, $70,982 per Bitcoin. So sitting pretty there, Michael Saylor is. And then we'll talk about this, but I want to give you a little foreshadowing. Coin Bureau dropped this morning. Fed rate cut expected this October. Justin Julius Baer expects the Fed to begin cutting rates in October, not September. But when we look at the CME futures call, they're actually saying September is the most likely time for a rate cut. We're now hearing October. So you could see some volatility as we run into that September timeframe. I do not believe we're going to see a rate cut in July at all. But it does look like we are now seeing a fight between October, September. 25 basis point cut in October, followed by more rate cuts. So they're expecting 425 basis point cuts for a full 1% from 4.5 to 3.5 by March 2026. So that would be, let's look here and see. So yeah, let's jump over here real fast, talk about this. July right now, 80% chance of no rate cut, okay? We go into September, take a look at this. It's saying 93% chance of a rate cut in September now. Pretty good odds. But we just saw that article and they're saying 4 between October and March. If we don't get one in September, I said I thought the first one would be in October originally anyways. So that would be 1 in October, 1 in December, 1 in January, 1 in March. There is no rate cuts in November. and there's no rate cuts in February of 2026. So that would be the 4, October, December, January, March for that full 1% if that was to play out what we're seeing there with Julius Baer. So Julius Baer, what a name. I'm going to change my last name to Bear. There we go. That's it. So yeah, we're looking at 0% for July. Will we see one in September, October? That remains to be seen. Right now, the rates are the calls, the predictions are that we will see one in September, but now we're hearing October, November, or October, December, January, and March. So there is that. Let's jump over to see what the stock market is doing on the TradFi side. Give that a refresh too. There we go. Thank you very much. Looking at the Dow Jones, currently up about 0.3%. S&P just set a new all-time high this morning. I believe that is the case. Setting itself up 0.25% this morning. And the NASDAQ up about 0.2%. The Russell 2K up 0.3%. And the VIX up 5.88%, sitting just above that 17 mark. Alex O likes to set an alert at 17 and says, hey, if it's this low, I just don't trade. It means it's going to be very slow moving activity, but getting that pump up from where we were at 15, that was a 2% increase, 5% total of what we're seeing, which means we do have a little volatility today. Europe markets overnight were all red. Asian markets were mixed. Nifty 50 HSI were both red. Shanghai, the Nikkei in Japan, and the ASX 200 all closed in the green for the Asia markets. Kind of gave a precursor for what was coming for Monday for the U.S. And then let's look at oil and gold, talk about that, and then we'll look at bonds. Oil right now down $65, doing about a 0.5% pullback. Brent and Nat gas also down. RBOB gas up about a 0.5%. Looking at gold, we're seeing it return up, guys. We're seeing a scare in the markets. S&P just at all-time high. We're seeing, Bitcoin doing a pullback. Some of that money looks like it's going into gold, closing in on the $3,000 range today. Silver losing that $36 hold in the red today, but it is at $35.90 still. Copper, platinum, and palladium all moving to the downside. And then lastly, let's take a look at the 10-year Treasury yield. This is that baseline for your mortgages. This is the baseline for your car loans. Long-term loans go off of the 10-year, not the Fed Reserve rate. So right now it's at 4.273. We're down about 1/100% there. That's it. It's not dropping that much, guys, unfortunately. Let's take a look at this, and let's talk about, we'll come back and talk about Circle. We made a call on Friday, and if you guys were there for that, it worked out beautifully. Let's go talk about the economic calendar this week. What macro events are happening this week? It's a great question, OC. Let's talk about that. So we got Chicago PMI came in today, was at 40.5, expected to be up 43, 44. No, came in at 40.4, came in lower. So this is going to be the Chicago PMI. This measures the performance of manufacturing and non-manufacturing sectors in the Chicago region. Why does this matter? Because are you bullish on silver or platinum? I'm more bullish on palladium, and I'll tell you why in a moment, Kelly. Remind me to come back to that. Don't let me forget. I'll tell you why I'm more bullish on palladium than I am platinum, and why. I guess I am on silver. Yes, to answer your question, I am on silver. ZTS Rhythm in the house. I've been working ZTS Rhythm like a dog over here with this last month, the last 2 weeks unpacking stuff. So you guys show him some love. We're working hard in this house to get it all put together, and he's just been grinding on through. So PMI though, this is a major region, Chicago, the Great Lakes ports there and stuff like that. They do a lot of product input so that they can build stuff. And yeah, we're seeing a big, not a big drop, but way under what they were expecting to see and coming in below what it previously was. So 0.1% drop there when they were projecting it was going to be up 3 or 4%. So this week, we do have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index coming in. It's a lot similar to the Chicago PMI. Tuesday, we're going to get ISM Manufacturing PMI and JOLTS job openings. Let's take a look at those right now. Manufacturing expected to be slightly higher, 49.2, 48.8 versus the 48.5. And then JOLTS job openings expected to be down, guys. This is a contracting labor market thing. This kind of leans me towards that September rate cut may actually be the thing. If these job numbers come in bad, that means that Jerome Powell goes, hey, the labor market is weakening. All right, let's go with it. So the whole Fed Reserve as a whole may vote for that if we do see some bad job numbers coming in. And as of right now, it's expected to be slightly down on consensus, down pretty hard on the forecast. So what else do we have this week? Oh, guys, to keep this in mind, 10 a.m. I think this is. Nope, 8:30 a.m. So 9:30 a.m. On the East Coast, Fed Chair Powell is going to be speaking, and we could see some volatility tomorrow morning off of this data coming in. Next big day of data is going to be Thursday. It's going to be non-farm payrolls. Again, labor market and unemployment. Guys, take a look. Unemployment rate expected to go from 4.2 to 4.3. That's a increase in the unemployment rate. And again, would lend credit to a September rate cut versus an October rate cut. Non-farm payroll is expected to be down a lot. That's a lot. 100 to 110 versus the 139 currently. So yeah, we're seeing a weakening of the labor market starting to play in right now, for sure. Fed, we already talked about that. Hash rate. Let's talk about Bitcoin hash rate here. Bitcoin hash rate down 15%, guys. 26 firms added Bitcoin to their balance sheets, though, in June. So let's talk about this and let's talk about what this hash rate means. Buck knows all about this stuff. This month, Bitcoin's hash rate dropped 15% amid a summer heat wave that stressed the United States electricity grid. Crypto hacks and exploits have racked up record numbers, costing investors and platforms about $150 million in June alone. Moreover, businesses have followed example with Michael Saylor over there adding Bitcoin to their sheets. There are now 250 companies that have some form of Bitcoin treasury. And then regulators in Asia are softening their stance on crypto with new laws carving out crypto tax exemptions and permissions for stablecoin issuance in 4 different countries, including Hong Kong, South Korea. But let's talk about this hash rate piece here. That's what I'm most interested in here. The hash rate of the Bitcoin network measures the total computational power of the Bitcoin blockchain. It saw a significant dip of 15% on the month, starting the month around 942, ending the month around 799. That sharp drop left observers speculating about the possible reasons behind the decrease, which was the steepest drop in Bitcoin's hash rate that it had seen in 3 years, while some speculated the possible reason was Israel's attack on Iran. I talked about this last week. We saw this drop before. We talked about it here on the show. Hey, hash rate's dropping, guys. Be aware. And then the Iran-Israel stuff happened, which targeted critical infrastructure in Iran. Could have been using it to mine. Speculation. The hash rate was already in decline, and the U.S., which has significantly more mining activity, has been experiencing electricity price spikes due to its summer heat wave. So we are seeing a slowdown on Bitcoin mining, a lot of to do with the summer heat wave. Not really anything going on with that. And we did talk about it here on the dashboard on the risk levels too, because you see here on chain, we're actually pushing into some threat zones on the crypto risk indicator. That's the blue arrow there. We're past that 50% mark. And so on chain, we're at 54.4% risk level, pushing into some danger zones. So that is what we're seeing on all of that. I think that's all the real news that I got for you today. We'll come back and talk about Circle later, but let's go ahead and jump it over here. OC, any thoughts on all of this data that we got coming up this week? We're seeing a weakening of the labor market, man, and that tends to say, hey, Fed, it's time for you to cut rates. So the factors are, look, if inflation's going up, you raise rates or you keep them the same. If labor market is weakening and we're seeing cracks in the labor market, the workforce, you cut rates. And what do you do if you see raising inflation, which we could see off of the tariffs? We still don't know. Jerome Powell said we're on wait and see mode for that. But we're also seeing a drop of that labor market. Do you know, which one's easier to fix? My opinion, it's easier to fix inflation, or it's easier to fix job numbers, incentivize hiring, than it is to fix inflation. So I think that if inflation numbers come in bad, the rate cuts off the table again. But if it's just the labor market and we still see stagnant or lowering inflation, I think we see a rate cut, and it could also, honestly, could be September, and I could be wrong. Your thoughts on this, OC?
Absolutely. CTS Rhythm, if you ever feel like you're getting overworked, remember you always have a way to flee to a Caribbean island, right? Just saying. Just kidding, of course. I know you're getting very well treated out there, man. Hold on in there. I know you're doing great, buddy. But if you ever want to come visit, Out of joke, if you ever want to come visit, let me know. You know that you have your home here. Also, you, Piper. Nonetheless, going back to your question, I think this brings us back to the same position that I've been so far with the Fed, right? So Fed and Donald Trump, how Donald Trump is being pushing, and the Fed is pushing back, and pushing back, right? Basically, Jerome Powell saying, you know what, I don't care about what you say. My job is this, and my job depends on job numbers and inflation, right? So this is basically what I need to keep a balance of. So the point is, I think this is getting to a point where he will be considering, based on numbers, cutting the rates. And I believe that you are completely right. You are completely right. It's easier to fix job numbers than to fix inflation, because inflation usually never goes the way that we expected, right? Once the prices go up, we mostly never see them coming back down, mostly because we have seen this in this cycle, right? Where we over-fixed inflation, and then we're having a little bit of that production value dropping down. So I think it's going to be more on hold and wait, to be honest. I think this upcoming month is going to be, you know what, we are going to be either not cutting rates because we need to wait a little bit more of a dramatic breakout, and then said for sure now we need to break through because influence on tariff might be blurring out the actual out results of what's going on in here. So I believe that the upcoming meeting will be more like a nothing burger. I could be wrong, of course, I could be wrong. But if we start cutting rates at this point, I don't think there will be nothing like measure. I don't think that we're going to get a full point cut unless we see some major events taking place in the market structure inside the US. Other than that, well, there's one more thing that I think could be involved in this, and it's what's going on the Middle East. Things start changing in the Middle East, like we've been seeing that it's being a little bit volatile. We might have an earlier response to the economy that needs to be fixed for the US get involved into another W, if that makes sense. So yeah, OG Mod Cup, nice, love it. So that's basically what I see. It's more like wait and see. I don't think that we're gonna have a major breakout till this point. And yeah, I mean, pretty calmed, I would say, throughout this month.
Yeah, I think everything's going to be okay with it. I mean, at the end of the day, we still have some strong support levels below us. As far as the job numbers, if they do start to cut rates, it's just, I think that's going to be bullish. It's going to be bad that people are losing jobs, but it's going to be bullish for the markets overall. So, especially for selling my house in El Paso, I'm just saying. If you know, you know. Hey, so I had a question from I think it was Kelly earlier. I think she asked a couple of questions. Kelly's getting educated over here. She's at the front of the classroom. Excuse me, I have a question. She's asked about palladium or platinum and silver. I like silver. It's an industrial metal. I like the uses of palladium. They use it in a lot of stuff, catalytic converters. It's used in air filtration, water filtration, all of your green energy plants. They've got palladium filtration systems going on. So palladium, very bullish on that. Plus, it doesn't tarnish like silver, and it doesn't look gray like platinum. It's actually a pretty metal for using in jewelry. So there's a deal on palladium and silver. It's the cheap option that people run to when, it's just like, why do people buy Doge over Bitcoin when they first get in? Because Doge looks cheaper, because they failed to go, I can buy fractional pieces of Bitcoin, and a 10% move is still a 10% move, regardless of what I put it in, right? So yeah, it's the silver is the Doge to Bitcoin's gold. So there you go. If you take a look here, what I'm seeing on the charts, though, she asked about the hash rate. She said, what does that mean for price? So just so you're tracking, as far as what does it mean for overall for the market for price, it gives uncertainty, market uncertainty. When people see that hash rate, they're like, oh no, the miners are capitulating, or the miners are shutting down. They're going to start taking profits. They're going to start selling. And interestingly enough, I just went and checked what the weekly close was yesterday, OC. Look at the Caprioli hash rate ribbon, guys. We got a sell indicator. This is from June 23rd, and it closed last night to confirm. So we now have a sell indicator on the hash rate ribbon printing for the weekly here on Bitcoin. And right now, that's a pretty deep capitulation. When it's gray like this, like that right there, that is capitulation period. So we are seeing some hash sell-off going on right now in the market. So interesting, very interesting. Kelly, I hope those answered your question. Always here to answer questions for the alumni. Love you guys, man. You guys are awesome.
That's my alumni. You know what I mean?
Even
Also,
even the one person that hit dislike, I love you too. Thank you for the engagement. It's all engagement. So, OC, what do you got, man?
Just a little bit of fun for thought about metals. Also, think about the industry. Like, for example, gold has a great usage right now in electronics, as we might be seeing other stuff going up, just like anything that needs electronics, like plane, microchip, bump controllers, right? Computers to manage drones, right? And all of those stuff. Just mentioning, just in case something that needs or require that stuff, well, then that also will imply the usage of gold in the industry. Another kind of industry that really uses metals are platinum, because platinum are a great catalyst, and platinum usually comes out to be at the end or intact at the end of a process, a chemical process. It just helps throughout making that process faster. So it never gets destroyed per se. But when you start seeing something like engines developments, you'll start seeing more platinum getting put out there. So
Yep.
just so you keep an eye, on the different industries development, and you know where to expect one of those industries start taking off. So I mean, by the way, I like more platinum than palladium, just so you know. Just a personal preference.
Dave Rumbelow agrees with me. Silver and palladium is the way to go. Kelly asked, do I trade? I think she was talking to me, or she was talking to BC. She asked if I trade metals. I don't really trade metals. I spot buy silver. I missed out on my opportunity for palladium. It's a big reason for my divorce from my ex-wife. Story time with ARB Piper. Here you go. Story time with ARB Piper. So I was deployed for a 15-month deployment. Daniel Barnes knows all about that. 15-month deployment. And during that time, I re-enlisted, got a $30,000 tax-free bonus. Tax-free when you're deployed, your re-enlistment bonus, no taxes. So I went over and got to, I was re-enlisted over there and was studying on palladium. This was in early, mid 2008 time period. And I said, hey, my wife at the time, my ex-wife now, she moved in with her mom, was staying there for the 15 months because I was gone so long. So we weren't paying rent at all. We had no housing cost at all. But I was still making my basic allowance for housing. So I was making extra money plus hazard pay. Plus we got an extra $1,000 per month on every month past 12 months there. And then we also got I got the tax-free bonus, and palladium at the time was like $198. And I was like, I'm going to take this money that I just got from this re-enlistment bonus. I'm going to buy palladium. And holy crap, did I miss out. But I went to the bank, or I looked at my account, I should say, to see how much figure out what I could put into palladium, and it was all gone. So if you know, you know. Yep. I came back with more debt than what I left with, and I had no money to show for the entire deployment. So that's why she's an ex-wife. There you go. Let's go talk up. Yeah. Story time with ARB Piper. Woohoo. There we go.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. All right, let's talk about Circle real fast here, OC. On Friday, we were sitting right here, right there. We were sitting at this level in the golden pocket. We were sitting on a value area low. And I said, guys, if we lose this, and I think we're going to, we're very likely going to be heading down here to the platinum pocket, 786, 176 to 161, in my opinion, would be a buy zone. What happened? guys, we went straight down there, bounce, came in, little liquidity sweep this morning. I'm looking at hourly candles right now, and then a pump to the upside. You can see now we're starting to get our upward movement here on our histogram. We've got a bullish signal. Money flow starting to come back in. We came from a nice clean. You got to remember, I said, well, look, we're down here on the RSI, but we can go much lower. We haven't had much history here, so don't base it on this because we can go all the way down into blues. It turned into that teal color there, and that is where we got our upswing. Did one more double bottom there on the RSI, and then up she goes. Uptrend actually printed right there, and then the VWAP oversold, bought click triggered right there for us. So all the indicators were giving us this run to the upside, and now Circle coming up, sitting at 186. So congrats to anybody that bought in that zone down there at 176. It happened. It happened. I want to talk about this article here because this CNBC actually did, CNBC Pro, did a article about Circle this morning. The stock tied to crypto has been on fire since its IPO. Some analysts see even more gains ahead. So let's go talk about this. Some analysts can't get enough of the crypto darling Circle internet group. That's me. I'm one of those people too. I can't get enough of it. Circle is the issue of USDC, popular stablecoin, may be the latest stock to benefit from both a more favorable IPO environment and crypto-friendly regulation. That's why I'm in it, crypto regulation. Shares of Circle have popped an eye-watering 482% since the company went public in June. We were talking about it back in April here on the show, before the IPO even launched officially. So the stock has been popular from the beginning, with opening at $69. It actually opened at $31 if you were in Robinhood, far higher than the IPO pricing of $31. Circle stock soared 168% on the day of its debut. Let's talk about them saying that they are Needham initiates at buying rate at and $250 price target. It's already broke that. Actually, it's hit that more than once. So, analyst Gautam Shugani nailed it. Forecast is 27% above Circle's Friday close price. He thinks $230 is a good target price for it. Barclays Initiate at overrate weighting says 215, still to the upside of the 176 where we just bought. And then Deutsche Bank initiates at a hold rating and a $155 price target. It's interesting that he says that because I talked about that level on here. I said, look, if we pull all the way back into this range, this volume node here, there's a volume node right here. And if you want to know how to do that, let's bring this in. Come here, you. Let's bring this in and let's pull this fixed range volume profile to include all that area. You can see there's a big volume node right there. And that was the area that I said, look, if we lose the platinum pocket, watch for this bounce here in this large volume node. There's a lot of activity there and a lot of volume support. So, what else we got here? While we see potential for strong long-term industry adoption of stablecoins, the range of outcomes are very wide and likely to create a substantial volatility in earnings revisions and the share price for at least the near to immediate term. Hence, we see the shares as being fairly valued, albeit with a wide range, but we would wait for better opportunities before starting a position. So, Goldman Sachs sees a price target of $83. And then Oppenheimer initiates at perform rating. The investment firm did not set a price for the stock. Who has the best one here? I think 255 is the best one here. I'm actually shooting for 300, guys, and that's what I think we're going to see is a $300 circle. Why is that? Bring it in here. Take a look. We hit 300 here. I think we're going to come back for a liquidity sweep on this bad boy. And when that happens, I will probably take some pretty hefty profits there again. I did take profits here when we broke the point of control, bought back in some more here, came up here, came lower, and I bought in some more here. Not the same amount as what I sold. I sold half of it at that level at about 223. Bought about 50% of it back there, and then I bought more this weekend. So that's what I'm doing right there on Circle. Some of these calls, 255, 255 from the level right now, which is lower than what I'm projecting. But from right now to 255, that would give it a move of about 35%. So 35% upside there on stocks. If you're looking for some stock movement that has to do with crypto, That's the one, in my opinion. OC, we got about 10 minutes before we go live before we move over to Crypto Coin Mindset. We're going to join Trade Intuition, Bingo Bango, T.I. Joe, and Keith over there from Crypto Coin Mindset for our redirect today. But what do you got for the altcoin side? Let's talk about that, because alts are feeling some pain, man. And we've been talking about what they're not showing, strength, and how close they are to their lows versus their all-time highs for a while. Is there any hope? Is there any hope in them charts, OC? What do you got for me, bro?
Oh, absolutely. Let's take a look at the ARB. And looking at ARB, oh my God, don't really fall for it. It's just a 3-minute chart. All right, but let's go to the 4 hours. And yes, a 14%, still a 14%. That is a pretty good move, but I mean, it's not that one. Let me just double click here. And it's just this little bar in here, right? So let's zoom out to get some perspective out of where we are at this point. Remember, where in doubt, always zoom out as much as you can until you can no more, all right? So other than that, let's see. Oh, my mouse. There we go. That we have broken a pretty nice trend line in here. And this is actually a parabolic movement because we need more than one trend line to actually measure this breakout. Right, there we go. So it's not about the breakout. It's about the retest, your main entry. And then we have another channel downwards. This is the first breakout. Just like in here, what is your entry? It's not about your breakout, it's about your retest. So mostly going for a retracement here. This is what I'm going to be expecting. This movement somewhere around dynamic reactor. Let me clear this up, right? So we have it all clear. We have a buy signal. Remember, we don't buy on buy signals. We buy on the retracements or pullbacks of those buy signals, right? Why? Because this is a trend actual change signal, right? So let's add one of our alerts in here at the previous stop in here, and then let's fix it, or let's change it depending on how is it looking like. There we go. We have our quantum reactors in purple. Let's just fix it a little bit higher here, just to be paired with where is it right now. I know I always tell you it's not where is it right now, but where is it going to be, right? Nonetheless, we're so close that I believe that that is still going to be a good area for retracement. Right here, we have a trend line, a previous week low. We are right on it. If we bounce back up, we could be making a flag. If that changes, remember morphology. We have a full class on a full chapter about pattern morphology. Go check it out at Trading with OC before those videos go private. So once we started having a either a big retracement to our entry zone, that's where we enter, or if we see an early bounce, we're going to be playing out a possible bull flag or a possible range or pennant in here, right? So far, so good. I think this is still a good area to look into. The next thing to prevent or to get an early signal that we're going to be having a flag or a pennant, it's going to be right up here, just so we have a bouncing zone alert. So when we bounce up here, we could be looking for, let's put it just slightly below, there we go, for a higher low, and then played out our chances in there. The next thing that I want to look for or into is our equilibrium. We hit perfectly on our daily resistance. We are basically going perfectly into our equilibrium. Let me push it a little bit higher, my alerting here. And then finally, let's not update this just for now. And then finally, let's take a look at our support and resistances. We have our VPVR lower here. That's still fine, because as long as I get alerted before it hits, I will have enough chance to react. Talking about our predictive ranges, remember when we break one of our purple lines, we always tend to go in search and try to hit the blue line. At this point, we fail doing so. So for me, it seems like we could be ultimately going in here and then whatever it needs to do, right? So I'm doing that because I cannot calculate this for now. Nonetheless, this could be the next possibility for the midterm played out. Let's just leave it as is. We already have an alert to the downside and an alert to the upside. Let's move on into what else am I looking for or into. And the next thing that I'm looking into is TAO. I want you guys to notice that I'm giving you the possible change in direction on altcoins so far. This is the hopium altcoins because, as Piper mentioned, altcoins so far are not looking that great. All right, but those are the ones that I'm looking. Yeah, these ones are the ones that I'm looking in case we have a possible break to the upside, right? So far we have a lower support in here. Remember, we usually look for channels. This is going to be my top resistance in here, right? I'm taking out this anomaly, these two anomalies. And something important, it is that we had a support zone in here, right? We came back down in here, support, failed the support. This is a swing failure pattern or a sweep of the lows, as Alex or Crypto World mentioned. And then what happens? We have a higher low, lower high, basically creating a triangle. Usually this could be read as a bearish pennant, but I rather see it as a symmetrical triangle, especially because this is fitting within, coming down, little range, V-shaped recovery, high, not higher than the previous range. And then we can measure our upper range for entries and our lower range for entries. So anything in here short, anything in here long. What am I grabbing that for? It's from the Wyckoff theogram or Wyckoff schematics right here, coming down, little range, V-shaped recovery, high, not higher than the previous range. Based on the previous range high and low, we can specify a outer range both ways, above and below, for entries down, entries up. All right, so that's what I'm looking on on TAO. So TAO making some reversal setups in here. Another thing that I'm going to be looking into this one is not losing this trend line. And if we have a dramatic breakout, my entry is going to be right where we get here to the retracement. Let's use our indicators. So it seems like I might be aiming a little lower. So let's fix that. There we go. And back to enter for that retracement. Let's see, much better, much cleaner. Seems that it's matching now support and resistances. So as you can see right now, guys, I'm using my indicators to pinpoint or to refine what traditional trading is telling me, right? So that's why it's so important to have a little bit of knowledge on support resistances, ranges, and bottoming patterns. By the way, guys, once again, we have full chapters. That was chapter number 1, 2, and 3 on trading with OC. Go watch them because we created a course at this point, free course for anyone that can catch it, from chapter 1 to chapter 20 with even live trading results. So do not miss your opportunity and go check that out.
Yeah, you did amazing on that whole series, man. It's phenomenal. What people can get for absolutely free just by watching 20 chapters of Trading Live with OC, man. Shout out to you. Much love, bro.
I
Hey,
need
shout
to
out.
fix that.
I know you need to fix it. Your hearts don't make hearts, man. Come on now, bro. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. I see XYZOZYX made it in here. Said better late than never. Good morning. I appreciate you. Kelly said OC teaching people to trade for free. So yes, he is all the time, man. There was somebody up here, and I laughed when I saw their comment. I guess they were listening to my story time with Piper, and he said, seems like you stayed strong, brother. Admirable. He said admirable, but I know what he meant. I know what you meant, man. And then he said, made me stop lurking. He was lurking. Now he's out. What's up, Sam3532? I'm not sure what the name is. See, of all the people I know by name, not showing up here. Although Eric Wallen is showing up as Ballin' Wallen, so that's good. We all know him as Ballin' Wallen anyway. So, yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Appreciate you guys all being here. OC, we have about 2 or 3 minutes. Is there anything else that you're watching? Like, I saw that ETH was up a little bit on the daily. If we jump over here and we take a look at this, I just want to show. Is it still that way? Yeah, it is. It is. It's still up about 0.5%. Let's jump over here, and I want to show you this. On Ethereum, it's up about 0.5% on the daily still, despite being down on the hourly. Are you seeing anything on the Ethereum chart on FETH that's given you any type of hopium, or is it in the same boat as everything else? It's hitting critical resistance and downside moves. It goes. What are you seeing on FETH? FETH.
Absolutely. Right before we take a look at FD, the next thing that I want to show you, because right now we're in profits, it is a call that we gave in this class, I believe Friday or Thursday, not quite remember. And this was our possible entry. We went a little bit lower, but our stop loss held like a champ. There we go. Remember that we learned that coming back down, little range V-shaped recovery, entering, exit, right? It's the same thing played out. So right back on the same game. Right now, we should be taking some profits. TP number one, moving your stop to entry. So boom, shakalaka. There we go. Let's take a look at Ethereum. I had a plan for Ethereum and he did not care about it. Of course, right? I mean, I don't move markets. Not yet. Nonetheless, the plan still remains the same. A possible push to the downside in here. So let's just scoop over my analysis just a little bit to the right for timing, all right? The timing is still the same, all right? So basically hoping for Ethereum, there is a chance. In the point of this chance, or why do we see maybe a chance, or why do I have this line in here? It is because we could have made a very ugly head and shoulders in here that doesn't really looks like an inverted head and shoulder. Let me just get let me get that obscene pattern out of the charts, right? Nonetheless, we're making it an up range here. Usually up ranges tend to break to a downside, and we had an order block down pushing or breaking lower or pulling lower into our areas. Where is it? Come on, order block. There we go. We have a big order block push lower. We have a new soft order block. That's why I'm expecting to get somewhere around these areas before we broke out. But there is a very small chance that we, out of this, make a push to our predictive blue line area here. Why is that? Because throughout where we were supposed to go lower in here, we didn't really went lower, right? Look at that, going low, it did actually went higher, right? And now that we're supposed to go high, well, then there is a small chance before we retrace that we make another push through. Let me show you like what, like for example, like this. Look at this double top. Maybe we can have the same double top or more extended. And what happened to the second top in here? Let me just point it out very clearly. There we go. We had a higher high, right? So there's a small chance that we make another higher high in the resistance zone. It's all the way to 2,666. Is this a time to buy? No. I know that I always tell you guys, let's go only for the retest. But at this point, I will say, and let me here, right, to the trend line, I'm going to be 1/4 longing the breakout, and as soon as I'm in profits, move my stop to entry, because there's the next chance that we then roll over and go visit the actual order block right down there, and I don't want to get stuck on this fake out movement. All right, so I'm assuming that we're gonna have a fake out, and I'm gonna be trying to trade a fake out just in case that's not a fake out. But plan A, and let me just draw it here, plan A, it's this one, and plan B is this one other. So other than that, pushing it over to you, my friend, that's what I'm seeing on Ethereum and XRP.
Awesome. So yeah, I wanted to give you guys a quick view here real fast of my studio before we head over to the crypto coin mindset and join Keith and T.I. Joe. OC, check it out, bro. This is the studio setup now. I got it all set up. It's looking beautiful and great here. I got the OG coffee mug there. There you go. Can watch my CNBC right there. All the screens. Got my other one over there that I can watch and see what's going on. And then, yeah, still got to hang some pictures up here. They're all back here. I got my plaques and stuff from my first sergeant days, my blackjack, and all that stuff. But there's my Billy Goat tail set up there. Got the Bitcoin lamp up there. Got some books. Got my rock band set up. Gaming TV. Yeah, and of course the rocket emoji, the green screen. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys. It's all coming together in here. Studio almost completely set up, but not quite there yet. I still got a couple of more things that I need to set up. Let me get back over to my regular audio. Regular audio is working. All right, there we go. Cool. Nice. I was in my AirPods so I could walk you around. But yeah, that's the studio so far, man. It's coming together, bro. It's coming together. So
it's looking fantastic. Let me ask you a question. How many more screens can you fit there, man? I mean, that looks so cool, though.
So to be fair, I only trade. Why am I frozen so much? To be fair, I only trade on, and I'm lagged. I'm crazy lagged here, but you guys can hear me in real time. So I really only trade on one screen. It's the screen to my right. So everything else is for the live stream for so I can watch and monitor and see all of the different stuff. So, but yeah. That's it, OC. Let me jump over here. I think that might have made it better. Nope, I'm still lagging. I went to a camera mode and now everything's lagged. But OC, I appreciate you, man. We're about to head over, and there's room for one more. One Way said we're about to head over to crypto coin mindset with Keith and T.I. Joe. I appreciate everyone being here today. If you haven't done so yet, smash that like button. And I promise the next time I come back on, I will be synced up with my audio again. OC, you're going to be, are you going live later? You got how many more sessions do you have?
2 more sessions today and tomorrow. So
Okay,
tomorrow is
so
going to
yeah.
be just a goodbye party. If you want to come over, that'll be fantastic. We're just going to hang out, maybe look at some charts, play around, drink a beer live. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. Yeah.
Fire.
All right, well,
Drink it
we'll
up.
do that.
Drink it up. All right, guys. We'll be OC is going to be live today. Don't forget to tune in to Markets After Dark, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Lunar Beaches Crypto. If we get more memberships, I got to give him a surfer. I got to give him a surfer emoji. Absolutely. And then tomorrow morning, Port Corp will be back with Good Morning Crypto. We'll be back at 10 a.m. breaking down the news, the charts, the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until next time, guys, trade safe. And as always, use some risk management. We'll catch you guys later. Peace, love, and profits. Let's go.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline.
Boom shakalaka!
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels
I pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Sound off to get with them. The ZTA.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
That was awesome, dude.